This is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to talk about our elevated rolling deck squat. Our elevated rolling deck squat is a way that we can help people get better at deck squats who have more limited ranges of motion. And people can have limited ranges of motions for a myriad of reasons. It could be environmental. They could always sit at a certain height of chair and their lower back and their core doesn't support them below a certain point of load. It could be a training thing where they've been training and they were told not to go below 90 degrees for it's bad for their knees. Doesn't matter what it is. The goal of getting better at the deck squat is to eventually get better at the pistol squat, which is a single leg squat that starts from leg lockout at the top and goes all the way down to booty on the heel and then standing all the way up with one leg. That's eventually where all of this stuff goes. So all the squats that we do are building to support the evolution of our kettlebell loaded single leg pistol squat. Our elevated deck squat is the evolution and combination of two ideas. Our deck squat, which is a squat that goes all the way down, rolls on the deck and stands all the way up. Full extension, full flexion, full extension. And our box squat. We control the height of our box squat in the smallest increments we can so that we can work on getting lower and lower and lower. We would sit down on the box, pick our feet up to fire our core, and then stand all the way up, extending all the way at the top. This is the same thing, but instead of having our feet shoulder width apart with our feet pointed straight ahead, we are going to put our feet all the way together and point our feet straight ahead. And that is to support the pistol single leg squat. We're trying to combine all of these things together to support that idea. Our elevated deck squat starts like our normal deck squat with our feet pointed straight ahead and all the way together. That's so that later on when we take one leg out of it, this leg is already trained to do the correct thing. We are not going to turn out because the second we lift this leg up, our body would rotate to be with this leg. Point our feet straight ahead, pick the kettlebell up. I prefer the bottoms up version of this exercise more than any other version of this exercise because it then translates into future evolutions of this movement more clearly and easily. Pick the weight up, elbows squeeze tight to the body, sit all the way down. We're gonna go all the way back, rock, and stand all the way up. Then, in the future, the next week, we would take mats out and we would continue to lower down until we could get all the way down to the ground. This point right here is the hardest point of the movement. That's the point where your core is going to have to catch and contract in order to stabilize your body. So we're trying to emphasize that lower back stability and core engagement in order to stabilize our body on the way up so that eventually we can take a leg out of it and do this with one leg. When we do this activity, we want to make sure that at the bottom, the kettlebell goes outside of our knees because as we get lower and lower and lower, we are going to have to be outside of our knees to do this version of this deck squat correctly. Elbows still stay close, but the weight's going to be outside of our knee. If when we're coming up, we have a hard time, you can push it a little bit further forward to drag yourself up and then pull it back in to stand all the way up. Straighten your legs out at the top, squeeze your glutes. We've had some commenters say that their knees are still rolling in. That probably means that they're not tucking this underneath and straightening their legs all the way out. Some people do have this minor knee turn in, and that can probably most likely be trained by focusing on this external hip rotation at the top of this movement to straighten the leg all the way out, engage the glutes to drive the core home. You can practice this forever and never get all the way down to the bottom. That's totally fine. Some people have limited range of motion because of certain things. I have limited range of motion because I've had 3 knee surgeries on my left leg that are, supposed to be career-ending, life-altering things. But the point of this is that you can work yourself down to this height very slowly and gently to give your body time to recover so that you can get more useful range of motion out of it. This has been Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica.